I'm John Cena, and I'm with That Grape Juice. You can tell.
This is Precious from That Grape Juice, and we are live at the Head of State premiere in London. Ahead of the film's release, we caught up with stars such as John Cena, Priyanka Chopra, and more. Let's get into it. What was the dynamic like of the film set?
One of professional respect and friendship. He invited me into his home while we were filming here in London. Gosh, we are so gracious of each other's schedules. He's one of the busiest men I've ever seen, and I think both of us understand the gravity of being pulled at 25 different directions at once. That stuff we would bond over, about like, hey man, what are your tricks? What is your strategy? Hey, what is your strategy to manage all this? We could each see when we were having maybe a day where one of us or two, we both used a few extra hours of sleep and we helped each other. Gosh, I can't say enough good things about him. He's a great dance partner, and that's why I think we have what you see on the screen. Yeah.
So what was more chaotic, the film set or the WWE ring?
Well, the WWE ring is live as it happens, so there's nothing that can match the chaos of that, but that's also its allure. No, movie sets are pretty well thought out. It's a very safe place to be. WWE is far more chaotic.
I can just imagine. So we know that this year it might be your final days.
No, it is. It's my final day. I am done in December.
So what can we expect from you with that looming?
I think the one common thread you'll find in me for 25 years is I will give you my absolute best. So regardless of what the TV show doles out and how we try to entertain audiences, I will leave nothing on the canvas. I will leave everything on the canvas.
I'm so looking forward to it. So your character is always 10 steps ahead.
10 steps.
What was her sharpest weapon, would you say?
I think her sharpest weapon is her mind. Like you said, she's 10 steps ahead. She's always thinking ahead. She knows where she wants to go and is kind of fearless about it and makes a plan.
Yeah.
She's not spontaneous and impulsive. She plans, which I love about her. Second question was?
And why is it important to focus on the results but not the judgment of others?
It's like, I think it's really important to focus on what you want to get out of certain situations, and you could fail multiple times trying to get there, but doesn't mean you necessarily give up. Practice makes perfect. If you ever want to get somewhere, find different ways to get there. People don't matter. They're not putting food on your plate.
Definitely agree.
Focus on the people that actually love you and care about you.
Thank you. So what was the most challenging part about bringing this movie to life?
Keeping the tone, action comedy, making sure that's correct, and making it truly balanced. It's not super hard, but you got to think about it. You got to kind of just make sure you're always aware that you should be funny, you should be very action-packed, but constantly complementing each other and making sure that all the action is focusing on the characters first. Because otherwise it's just punches. They're great. I watch those movies. I love them.
Yeah.
But I wanted this one to be character first and let the action happen around them and let them go through it.
So how was it appeasing two different audiences?
I think it's one audience. Of course. No. Are you telling me there's people who don't like comedies? Like, I will not watch a movie that makes me laugh. Or there's some people that are like, I don't want to watch violent things. I'm like, that's fair. But I think for a PG-13 movie, I think it's incredibly punchy. I've seen the statistics. We've got a lot of test screenings on this. I got to try out everything I wanted. And what I'm very proud of is, like, I know guys are gonna love it.
Yeah.
Because it's me and my dad will sit down and be like, great, dudes go on an adventure, great. But what I've seen is that older women like it no less, and sometimes more. It could be because Idris Elba is an incredible man, and John. But what it really is that it's a very wholesome film, and no matter, we kill like 75 people. There's a lot of violence.
So wholesome.
Yeah, so wholesome, but it is wholesome. There's movies where I watch, one guy kills 75 people, I'm like, I gotta take a shower. I love those movies, but this one, what I wanted to do was to have a really good time. And to have a really good time, sort of balance it out in a way, like, how do you please all the four quadrants? It sounds like it's a stupid thing to do, but it isn't. If you approach it correctly, and we approached it correctly, and with love and care, and so did the cast, and so did the whole mission. This is what we're doing. I pitched the movie like that. I said it's an action comedy for everybody, and we're gonna make it actually work, and we did. Or at least I think we did. So
no, you definitely did.
Thank you. We'll find out when it comes out tomorrow what's actually going. Maybe like, we hate it. It's horrible. Why didn't you make him all cry?
Just don't check Rotten Tomatoes, if anything.
Oh, I like reading reviews. I really do. Some of them can be bad. Some of it can be good. The only thing I really care about is the people that, in terms of the critical audience, the critics. I think what the important thing is, my favorite critics, and I don't agree with them all the time. What I love is that they approach a film and judge it against what it set out to do.
Yeah.
And if you do that, that's a pretty hard movie to not like. But I'm sure some people won't. That's okay.
So with the success of Hardcore Party, 1. Will there be a hardcore part 2?
Hardcore Part 2. Well, the first one really flopped. I'll be honest. You brought up bad memories. No, it was a cheap movie that didn't do what the studio wanted. It made a lot of money on home video and all that good stuff. So one day, I like classical cinema. I like cameras that are there and not here.
But I feel like getting that first person part is what we need. Like, it's cool to see.
There's a way to do it. I planned originally maybe having some shots here, but I wanted to. The DP and I, Ben Davis, who shot Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy, he shot Banshee of Inisherin, an incredibly versatile DP. We talked about this movie. We didn't look at reference. We were like, what's the one? I always have this exercise with my DPs. I'm like, what is the one word that will describe what we're doing from the visual perspective? And he was like, I think it's classy. And I'm like, I think you're right, sir. And that's what we did. So, academic, the camera doesn't move unless it has to.
Yeah.
And sometimes it really moves. But we don't have the, even in full VFX shot, you don't have the marvelous, beautiful flies. Because I was like, I wanted to feel like we shot this for real, even if, obviously our brains know we didn't blow up Air Force One. But there's a way to do it so it feels like, if we're shooting it, this is how we'd shoot it.
And as a director, how do you always come into a movie? What's your thought process? What is the first thing you think of when you come on set?
When I approached the movie, I was like, what do I want to see? Yeah, because I'm not that unique, you see. I know that if I make a movie that I'm going to think, a long time ago, a wonderful first AD back home, he was pissed because we were doing like take 12 of a 5-minute one-er scene, lots of dialogue. It was in hardcore, actually. And he was like, pulled me aside, he's like, why are we doing this? For the 12th time, it was great. Like, what do you want to do more? It was already, I'm like, listen, I want you to understand. What I want to do is I want to have it a 10 out of 10 so that the audience, first time they see it, is 10 out of 10. The second time they see it, is 10 out of 10. And he was like, he pulled me close, listen, what you need to understand is that your 10 out of 10 is like 14 out of 10. So if you do 8 out of 10, you're going to be good. So I'm a perfectionist, and I got to fight it to make sure I'm not wasting our time and getting it 1% better. That only matters really to me and like 2 people. So it's managing time and understanding you got to make the day, and that's what we do. We think there's a higher expectation from the audience, and we should try to serve them. But at the same time, it's better to get the thing ready and get it out there and let people enjoy it. Get the critique, learn, do better, come again, and just to quote the first man in space, he said, "A pilot must fly, fly, and fly." So shoot, shoot, shoot.
Thank you.
Yeah, best of luck. Yeah.